Well, it goes to show, if you're going to go at a legend, you better not miss. As we know, Angel Reese come out this week. She absolutely crushed her own teammates into the dust. And she even decided to go after a legend, the legendary Courtney Vandersloot, who, of course, blew out her ACL at the beginning of the season. And she is in the midst of making a comeback. And, of course, Angel Reese made some comments that were none too kind to a legend.
All right, this is crazy. At last, Courtney Vandersloot spoke up. And that wasn't subtle, I assure you. When a 5-time the All-Star and 2-time WNBA champion responds to Angel Reese saying, "You know, this rookie-turned-secondary drama queen has gone too far." Not only is the Chicago Sky locker room currently broken, pandemonium is seeping out of it everywhere. This brings us to the actual query. Does Angel Reese burn bridges more quickly than she can construct them? Because, let's face it, Reese has been surrounded by scandal ever since she attended LSU. Additionally, if stirring the pot has been the foundation of her brand, that tactic is beginning to lose its appeal. Why? Because you had better deliver the punch if you're brave enough to take on a legend like Courtney Vandersloot. Reese's jab was a huge miss. Do you believe the Chicago Sky should fire Reese? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below.
At this point, it's over. That whole Sky Barbie thing, that thing is over. Angel Reese is done in Chicago. They're gonna move on. They have to.
Not to mention who we are discussing here. You cannot disregard Courtney Vandersloot as a mere bench warmer. She is a 2-time WNBA champion, a 5-time All-Star, and a 7-time assist leader. Her resume is far more significant than any Instagram caption, louder than Reese's sideline antics, and stacked higher than her highlight reels. However, Angel Reese now makes remarks on Vandersloot's age, resilience, and even whether the Sky should have faith in her to come back stronger than before. It's more than just shade. That is an open-handed insult to one of basketball's most esteemed veterans.
The Chicago Sky teammates of Angel Reese, Ariel Atkins, Rachel Banham, Courtney Vandersloot, 3 ladies which were targeted in that hit piece that Angel Reese slid underneath the table. Yeah, they responded. Not only did they respond, but the Chicago Sky responded as well.
Why even go there then? Reese hasn't even completed 2 whole professional seasons. Reese's fictional adversary, Caitlin Clark, is already the focal point of the Indiana Fever, bringing an entire franchise back into the spotlight and changing WNBA history in the process. Let's face it, Reese creates the majority of this rivalry in her mind. However, Reese is more preoccupied with creating drama in her own locker room. Not exactly what anyone was looking for in a leadership recipe.
We can't rely on Courtney to come back at that age that she's at, Reese said. I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. Courtney Vandersloot, by the way, 2-time WNBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-WNBA first team, left the New York Liberty, a championship caliber team, to come help out the Chicago. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, dang. Oh, damn. It's all right, Courtney. It's all right.
And the jerk! Courtney did not request handouts. She has been working harder than anyone since tearing her ACL. Rigorous rehabilitation programs, taxing exercises, and interviews that demonstrated nothing but concentration and resolve to return stronger than before. Her purported teammate telling the whole basketball community that she's washed up was the last thing she needed. However, Angel Reese did just that. Furthermore, she didn't merely say it in private. In an interview, she made the statement in public. Veterans immediately lose respect because of that. It's true that locker room venting occurs worldwide. However, the way to destroy trust in record speed is to drag a teammate's name through the mud on TV.
But can Sky Nation expect to see you back here next year?
Oh, absolutely. You know, contrary to what people say or think, my age is absolutely not a factor. I am coming back. I'm going to come back better than ever because that's what I've done. I put myself in a position to come back and compete even at this age.
Better than ever. Thank you so much, Sloot.
Vanderloot, of course, did not overlook it. She didn't think twice when asked about her future. Simply put, despite what some may believe or say, my age is not a factor. I'm returning stronger than before. Boom! That is a straightforward counterattack directed at Reed. There were no veiled illusions or coded subweets, just a veteran responding with facts. She hasn't finished. She's not going to slow down, and she's not going to let a hot sophomore write her own obituary. Vanderloot reminded Reed who truly sets the bar, even though she desired smoking.
Angel Reese will be lucky if she has a third of the career that Courtney Vandersloot has had. I don't think it was Kennedy Carter that blew that locker room up. I think it was Angel Reese. There, I said it out loud. I think it was continuous drama.
Take a moment to stand back and consider the wider picture. The legacy of Vanderloot has already been established. She has earned the respect of her peers, the rings, and the hard work. Meanwhile, Angel Reese continues to be a work in progress as she looks for her place. However, she is wildly attacking legends whose accomplishments she hasn't even begun to sniff at, rather than concentrating on her own development. Compared to Reese's playoff appearances, Vanderloot has more championships. It's not even exaggerated, that's the truth.
You can tell it's just some turmoil going on in Chicago right now, and it kind of brings up the question, like, what is going to happen with Angel Reese at this point? I think she's done playing.
The comparison always follows whether Ree wants it or not, so you then take a quick look at Caitlin Clark. Similar to Ree, Clark has had to cope with physical fouls, harassment, and constant media attention. What's the difference? Clark doesn't criticize his teammates. Veterans are not shaded by her. She recovers from the blows and continues to advance Indiana. That's what a franchise cornerstone looks like. Fans adore her because of this. Sponsors swarm to her because of this. Clark have an unfaked leadership gene, while Ree may have the social media marketing hype machine. Returning to Ree, however, the suspension fiasco is really the icing on the cake. A half-hearted suspension is comedy, not discipline. Hey, we'll punish her for 20 minutes and hope she learns her lesson, was the Sky's essentially saying. No one values that. Not the other players, not the media, nor the fans. Courtney's answer went beyond simply checking Ree. It revealed the Sky's inability to regulate itself. Everyone was reminded by Vanderloot's remarks of what professionalism looks like. Grit, responsibility, and concentration. Ree appears to be talking more quickly than her game is progressing in the meanwhile. The disparity is striking.
In the beginning of the season, you was missing mad layups. You was shooting like 27% on layups. I saw Ariel Atkins at the podium holding you down. I didn't see none of your teammates going in the media blasting your ass for not being able to make a damn layup. We haven't seen none of your teammates come out and flame you for how you was missing layups back to back to back to back to back. You had like 8 straight games where these dudes won hundreds of thousands of dollars betting that you would miss your first shot. None of your teammates came out and embarrassed you publicly. They held you down and supported you.
Naturally, Reese's fan base also didn't help. Her internet fans went crazy, insulting Vanderloot, disparaging her profession, and acting as though awards and rings are unimportant. It was unpleasant. It was immature, and Ree was affected because, whether she acknowledges it or not, a player's fan following becomes an integral part of their brand. Fans of Caitlin Clark encourage her, honor her, and share the news of her excellence. Fans of Reese bring down legends and accuse them of plotting. That says 1,000 words. The delivery was what made Vanderloot's retort so beautiful. She didn't need a Twitter thread to establish her value. She didn't yell or rant. Her professional background speaks for itself. She only needed to speak the truth in a composed manner. She's not finished yet. She is not elderly. Additionally, she is returning stronger than ever. Ree, meanwhile, seems to have manufactured unnecessary controversy while depressing the spirits in her own locker room.
I would be highly surprised if Angel Reese is on the Chicago Sky's roster come the start of the 2026 or the 2027 season. The Chicago Sky, they might be saying to themselves, Angel Reese just isn't worth the headache that she is causing. Great rebounder. As for everything else, she's not worth the headache that she's causing.
The delightful irony comes next. Reese never stops talking about his desire to improve Chicago, win more titles, and have better teammates. Tell me though, what top free agent would go with a team whose star publicly disparages veterans? Free. Agents converse. Agents converse. Every member of the league observes this type of dysfunction. Why would anyone voluntarily enter a circus tent? We also shouldn't overlook the Chicago Sky front office. They failed to put out this fire. That punishment for half the game was hilarious. You can either support your player or hold her completely responsible. They appeared weak when they attempted to accomplish both. The front desk appears to be in a state of shock. The coach seemed helpless. The squad as a whole appears to be flourishing. Add the shenanigans of Angel Reese to that. And congrats, you have the formula for a season that is squandered.
It says here, Tyler Marsh called it a top-down organizational decision, declined to share which comments were viewed as detrimental. Atkins implied the team supported the decision. Ownership handled it how they see fit. She told the Sun-Times a shooter on Friday, they have full support from our team.
And let's just say it while we're being direct. Caitlin Clark is not Angel Reese. Not in production, not in leadership, and not in the way she portrays herself or her group. As the face of a team, the driving force behind the WNBA's expansion, and a dependable leader under duress, Clark has already established herself. Before her second season even ends, Reese is still attempting to figure out how to keep her teammates happy. Reese just appears worse as a result of the repeated comparison, because their distance from one another is widening daily.
Chicago Sky values the safety, respect, and well-being of every player. We are committed to accountability so our players can stay focused on playing basketball. Because of statements detrimental to the team made by Angel Reese during league-mandated media, she will not play in the first half of the game on September 7th against the Las Vegas Aces. This matter has been handled and resolved internally, and we are moving forward as a team.
The WNBA has a harsh stance. Franchises won't think twice about moving on if your drama on the court is greater than what you produce. And Rhea is wavering as she walks that fine line right now. Not only did her suspension garner notice, it brought up a far more significant query. Is the Chicago Sky truly aware of its actions regarding her? Suspension for half a game is not discipline. It is used as window decorating. That is the type of discipline used in high school, not in professional settings. It informs everyone that they are torn between two undesirable possibilities. Since Reese sells tickets, they want her on the floor, but since the locker room is a powder cake, they must appear to be doing something. That's not being a leader, that is accountability. Masquerading as cowardice.
Angel Reese facing her first bit of accountability here in the WNBA. Unapologetically, Angel, the Chicago Sky don't care about any of that right now. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about go out and say what you want. Be unapologetic. They have no time for that. They have a business to run. They have teammates that they care about, players on the roster that they're looking for. You know what? We got to send a message. This isn't cool to Vandersloot. This isn't cool to Banham. This isn't cool to Haley Van Lith. We got to show the other players on the roster we have your back as well.
Conversely, Courtney Vanderloo has never been required to play that game. Her work exemplifies professionalism, accountability, and consistency. 7 assist championships are not awarded by chance. It is not your destiny to win 2 titles. They are earned by the corresponding teammates, unwavering discipline, and tireless effort. She didn't strike out, blame others, or look for reasons why Vanderloo had torn her ACL. She put her head down, made a commitment to treatment, and allowed her resolve to speak for itself. If Rhea were humble enough to listen, she could learn a lot from that example. However, it is the problem. It doesn't seem like Reyes is interested in hearing. Through her remarks to the media, the online arguments her fan base engages in, or her antics during games, she appears more interested in controlling the narrative. More than Angel Reese a player, it's all about Angel Reese a brand, and that kind of imbalance appears horrible when you're just in your second season and have no postseason credentials. Very poor.
It is looking spooky in Chicago. Instead, Reese said she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Berman or Haley Van Lith are capable of leading them to the leading the playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky roster with WNBA championship experience. We are aware of it, Marsh stated. We are addressing it.
Compare that to Caitlin Clark once more. No player in recent memory has taken more punishment than Clark. She has received harsh criticism, constant targeting, and nitpicking from both critics and even former players. She has nevertheless remained committed to her game and her team. Reed doesn't grasp something that Clark does. Instagram likes and headlines aren't what leadership is all about. It has to do with resiliency. It all comes down to how you handle hardship in front of others. For this reason, Clark's reputation continues to rise while Reese's continues to decline. Let's now discuss Reese's assertion that Courtney Vanderloot is too elderly. That wasn't only thoughtless, it was just downright insulting. Vanderloot's worth has been established. No younger player can duplicate her playmaking vision or experience. It does not appear brave of Reese to deny that outright. She comes out as ignorant and immature as a result. This is not sincerity. It's conceit masquerading as direct communication.
It looked like it's happening. Angel Reese is asking out of Chicago already.
Angel Reese officially puts the Chicago Sky on notice. We're not doing the same thing this offseason that we did last offseason. Stop bringing me bums to play with.
Additionally, consider the message this conveys to the league. Why would you ever sign with Chicago if you're a veteran thinking about relocating there, and you hear their young star publicly disparage more experienced players? Even before you enter the room, the trust has been lost. Professional athletes need trust to win, and Rhea is undermining that faith more quickly than the Sky can restore it. The reason Vanderloot's retort was so effective was because it was composed, self-assured, and anchored in truth. Everyone is aware that she has merited the opportunity to speak. Angel Reese hasn't. People believe Vanderloot when she claims she'll be stronger when she returns. The media and fans roll their eyes when Reese mentions that the squad needs better players. That is the enormous credibility difference. The fans' response emphasizes the point. Her followers respect, admire, and hope for Vanderloot's success. Reese's army on the internet. They use cheesy comments and personal attacks to pull the topic down the drain and attack anyone who dares to challenge her. Whether you like it or not, a player's fan following reflects their image. While Reese's supporters undermine others, Clark's admirers highlight her magnificence. It tells it all.
Now, how many players are going to listen to what Angel Reese had to say about Courtney Vandersloot? Are going to listen to what Angel Reese had to say about her current teammates? How many players are going to say, oh yeah, I want to play with that player who has no problem throwing me under the bus with 3 games to go? I want to play with that. Maybe not many.
To be honest, the Draymond Green connection makes sense. Reese frequently gets caught up in drama, accumulates technical fouls, and enjoys confrontation. Draymond's 4 NBA titles serve as an excuse for the mayhem. Reese doesn't have something comparable. The theatrics don't seem like passion without the victories. They appear to be immature. Zoom out to see the wider view now. The WNBA itself. At last, the league is gaining national recognition, expanding its viewership, and drawing larger audiences. And Caitlin Clark is the focal point of that upsurge. The magnet is her. Reese gains from the attention, but rather than utilizing it to better herself and her group, she creates controversy and distraction by creating the wrong headlines when the league needs stability and professionalism.
Angel Reese, oh damn, has been assessed with 8 technical fouls, and she will be suspended for Friday game unless it is rescinded. And I'm telling you right now, look, he said it best, her attitude. That mug ain't getting rescinded. Angel Reese has struck out again.
Vanderloot's remark was incisive because of this. She had no obligation to speak, yet she did. She stated unequivocally that she would not allow Reese or anybody else to alter her story. She reminded the league that veterans still exist, that leadership matters, and that respect must be earned by coolly reaffirming her worth. Ree may believe that by speaking out, she's enhancing her reputation, but in actuality, she is alienating free agents, teammates, and possibly even the league. Her career might easily follow the same trajectory as other budding stars who switch teams before eventually fading out if she continues in this manner. The Caitlin Clark comparison seals it. Although Clark and Ree are only in their second seasons, Clark is seen as the WNBA's future star, a player who can lead a team and draw crowds to stadiums. Ree is viewed as a divisive personality that makes headlines for the wrong reasons. Although they are both gifted, only one is establishing reputation. Over the long run, Chicago must so pick a choice. Do they cut their losses and move Ree before her reputation entirely collapses, or do they keep supporting her in the hopes that she matures? Vanderloot's remarks effectively draw attention to the stakes. Why should anyone think Ree will respect the game, the league, or even her own teammates if she can't appreciate icons like Courtney Vanderloot? This is why this story is important. One suspension or one thoughtless comment is not enough. It concerns the culture of a locker room, the course of a team, and the life of a player who may end up being a legend or a warning. Vanderloot didn't simply return the clap. In the sand, she drew a line. Being respectful is a must. Although she exposed her immaturity, Ree believed she was expressing the truth. Do you believe the Chicago Sky should fire Ree? Tell us in the comments section below. Turn on all notifications, like, and subscribe to ensure you don't miss anything.